everyone, I'm Fire, and welcome back to the Shrine After Hours podcast. And I'm joined by...
I'm DG.
And I am currently in the Windy Plain, aka Jack.
Okay, so joining us, of course, is DG, and currently in the Wind Plane, Jack. So, I don't know, why are you in the Wind Plane, Jack?
Because I cannot be in the house because every room is taken.
That is a fair enough reason,
loud.
yeah. Okay, so today we are going to be discussing Steven Universe ships. I know.
Awful.
Yeah, it's awful, and you better grab your hazmat suits, because we're going to be talking about Steven Universe ships. It's going to be fucking hell. Although, if I feel we should
Not even 1 minute into the episode and I already want to blow my fucking brains.
Yeah, well, you want to do that every single time you speak to us, so there's no difference there. Anyways, in regards
Especially now, since this is the second time we're doing this.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Okay, so... let's get started with the main Steven Universe ships in terms of the actual canonicity, and this is like the first one they ever did, and it was Ruby and Sapphire. For those who don't know, Ruby and Sapphire is a romantic relationship between two gems who form Garnet, one of the main characters of the show, who is always a fusion. And as it turns out, their main reason for always being fused, they're in love. That's it. They love each other that much, they just want to stay fused. It was an interesting reveal in the show. Yeah, it was cute, but it was also a pretty big reveal, considering, for once, the show isn't just adding a ship because romance. It's actually a plot point. Something nice.
Quite the big one too. It doesn't just stop at revealing that Garnet is indeed a fusion.
Mm-hmm.
The romantic pairing actually is a big plot for like a few episodes, and then a good chunk of season 5 in which they plan their own wedding and have a premarital squabble.
That was interesting, but it did actually come up because of that, their premarital squabble. This relationship kind of became one of the biggest relationships ever, purely for the fact that for the first time in cartoons for, like, I think ever, there was a gay wedding in the cartoon that actually served a purpose and was there longer than just a couple seconds. An entire episode about their wedding.
Very nice.
It was very
wacky.
nice. Even though they're two aliens from outer space, that didn't matter. They were in love, they wanted to show that dedication, and the TV show was able to show. So, Rootfire plays a pretty big role. It's the only ship that actually does much of anything.
Yeah, and I think Rootfire itself made like a really big impact on the animation industry, because now a lot more cartoons they're showing like LGBT rep, and I think that's something that we really needed, especially now in 2020
as a whole.
So, yeah. So,
It definitely was. I like Rootfire, if I'm being honest, although that then brings up the point is that I don't understand why the hell people ship Garnet with anyone else, considering she's a fusion made of two gems deeply in love with each other.
There's the poly ships, I believe, but
yeah.
Even then, I don't, because it's very clear that Ruby and Sapphire, they're very in love.
They're fairly monogamous.
Yeah, they're not open to other relationships, I don't think.
Nope.
But hey, if you want to look at it this way, Garnet is technically her own person. Or gem in this case.
Technically.
While she is influenced by the other two components that make up herself, she's majority, she makes her own decisions.
True. But still, I never really understood it, specifically with Garnadot.
Because it's Pog, bro.
No, it's not.
No,
Shut
it's
up.
not.
Shut up.
It's not Pog. Please don't.
Anyway,
do that
next
to me.
ship, Converse or
okay.
Stevani.
Well, Converse
cool,
is the
but...
ship name, Stevani is the name of the fusion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And also that actually brings up the two canon ships are actually the two ships that actually involve main character fusions. Like, the two biggest fusions that appear throughout the show are also between the two only canon ships. So, that's something interesting to note that they seem to want to do, but of course when it comes to any other fusions, they can just fuck off. So, it's just... that's just great. But Steven and Connie, I'm going to be honest, I never really thought of them as a relationship. I mean, I don't know. It's just not really my thing. I don't know. I
I can
always see them
see
as
I
best
can
friends.
see it, but yeah, I've always seen them as friends. Just nothing more
They
than
they
that.
built it up pretty heavily during the first half of the series, and then just kind of
Yeah, I
Yeah.
kind
the
of
next
dropped it.
yeah, and then they teased it. They teased it a little bit in the movie, and by the finale of the series, they practically just they straight up confirmed that it was a thing, even though it felt more like a checkbox getting marked than anything else. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we're finishing the series, might as well have them make the kissy real quick.
Oh shit, guys! What's left on the checklist? Remember, Stephen and Connie's a thing people wanted. Fuck. Just add a thing at the end. Oh, okay.
Wait, but we just made Spinel kiss Steven. What the fuck do you mean we're gonna fucking do this?
What do you mean? You told me I could do this. No, what? You told me that this was gonna happen. No, we didn't. But you did. I already did.
By animating this then. Have you ever seen Looney
no.
Tunes? People are gonna get that. They're young. They don't watch old cartoons. They just watch the Steven universes.
Exactly.
Rebecca Sugar was just trying to hide her true ship, Stevenel.
Oh God. Oh,
No,
I
but
mean, to be
Don't
fair,
like that.
she did kind of say that she doesn't really care about the ships. She kind of did just say, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I
oh,
don't like that. I don't like that.
but oh god. But with Stephen and Connie, I like it. I think it's cute when I see out of it and I see comics of it. But in terms of the actual canonicity of it, it just I don't know.
Doesn't feel right.
It doesn't, because they built it up a lot, but they just... A problem with Future is that they used plot points for Steven's arc, but they didn't use those plot points right. And it's
No,
just,
they did not.
And it's just annoying,
So
like...
frustrating.
With this, they built it up, so in the movie, it's hinted, but it seems like there's still not anything serious. Then in Future, all of a sudden, Steven's proposing to Connie, and she's like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden, at the end of that, it's just a kiss on the cheek, and he leaves, and it's like... What?
Nah, dude, they smooched on the lips.
They did?
Yeah, they did.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
they did.
remembering things wrong.
Hmm.
I got so used to that scene from the movie and the fact that I just did not like Future that I'm confused whether or not
I don't
they
think
actually
anyone
kissed or not.
liked Future. There
There
were
was
only
not
like
a lot of people that liked
3 good
Future.
episodes, and then everything else is pretty garbage.
Yeah, Future wasn't too
But
good. But alas, here we are. I don't know.
I don't know. It's an alright ship, I guess. I never really got that invested in it. It's just like, I personally just like seeing Steven by himself more than anything, really. He just kind of seems like that type of guy.
He's like
Yeah.
the kind of guy to figure himself out first. And, you
Yep.
know, if they'd made Stephen and Connie a thing before in the series, which is something they should have done rather than it being like, okay guys, remember the end goal is their relationship, but it really does have to be the end. But couldn't we just have it before? No, it has to be at the end, okay? Because we can't keep their relationship a thing afterwards. Okay. Alright. Like, it feels like that's kind of what they did. They wanted it to happen, but they couldn't be bothered to have it happen and deal with it, so they wanted to leave it until the end. If they'd done it beforehand, I would have thought it would work. But they didn't, so...
Nope.
Converse gets a from me, but...
now,
It gets an F from me.
A ship that I really like is Lapidot, which
Shut
is
the fuck up.
Lapis and
Please shut the fuck up.
Peridot. Which
Just
originally
please shut
started
the
out
fuck
as a
up.
crack ship,
did.
and then then the barn episode happened. It's quite epic, quite pog.
Yep. That episode
the origi-
shaped everything.
Yeah, originally, I didn't ship Lapis and Peridot until raising the barn, which is kind of weird. But like when Lapis left Peridot, I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute, hang
Emotional
on,
stuff here.
I don't like this." Yeah, I feel really sad. Yeah,
And then
Lapidot,
back.
it's a very nice ship in my opinion. It was just handled poorly in the end, especially in Future. When they didn't even talk to each other, they didn't say hi.
It wasn't even because of
nothing.
shipping. It was just character development. Like, how the fuck are you just gonna leave them saying "hey" to each other, and that's
Yeah,
it? That's
it's
their
just-
only interactions for the entirety of the series. They're only verbal
Weird.
communications, mind you.
Yeah.
Even when they're in the same scene, post change your mind, they're not talking to each other. They're talking to Steven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only time they interacted from that point on was when Peridot was with Lapis and Bismuth in the movie, and Lapis literally goes, well, I wonder if we know anyone who has an access to, like, fucking weapons and shit, and just looks at Peridot. And that's it. That's actually it.
Yeah.
The only other time after that also just showed when Lapis and Peridot were mixing their powers to entertain some people. That's all we ever saw. We never saw anything else, and it pisses me off.
Yeah, it's bad
One of the
development.
One of the many unresolved things in the Steven universe, everyone.
Yeah. Honestly, it is so annoying, especially with what happened to fucking...
Peridot was depressed, Lapis
Yeah.
left, and
Peridot was like
it was
3
never
whiskey
addressed.
shots away from killing herself right then and there.
Yeah, it was so sad.
I hated it. And then finally comes back and she's like, it's clear that they're kind of confused how to take this. And the show's like, okay, thanks for sticking with us, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this arc, and it's done now. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
And
they could have
like,
just, like, you know, in, oh my god, what was the wedding episode called?
Reunited.
In
Reunited.
Yeah, in Reunited, when Lapis came back, I legitimately thought they were gonna hug, and then Steven hugs Lapis instead. I'm like,
I actually really wish they hugged, at least. I don't want
Yeah.
them to suddenly be on great terms. I want there to be, like, the kisses and tears people wanted. But, fuck's sake, you'd expect a hug,
Dude,
right?
Steven cockblocked Peridot.
He
right
did.
there.
he did.
Also, you can try and say that Peridot doesn't like Lapis, but fucking Amethyst knows. In that scene where Peridot is happy, you just see Amethyst next to her with that fucking smirk.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest face I've ever seen. Okay, that's not true. I did see Amethyst transform into a horse, so... I've seen some weird things,
Oh, yeah.
but...
I mean, have you seen the way that a horse amethyst looks at Pearl?
Pretty hot.
Wow, you just confirmed that you're a furry, DG. How
No,
did
no, I'm not a furry, shut up.
You're a furry.
Dude, you watched
Furry.
BNA and you love that.
Dude, me
shit.
watching B&A does not make me a furry.
Yes,
That
it
Yeah,
does.
it kind of does.
No,
Yeah, it does.
Yes, it does.
furry. Anyway, moving on. Okay.
She's a furry, by the way.
You know,
Amidon.
speaking of Amethyst, yeah. Fucking
Yeah,
Amidon.
It's, you know, it's a nice ship. Personally, I don't ship it. I see them as friends, like best
Yeah.
friends. But I can understand why people
Yeah.
would ship them, especially in that one episode where like Peridot lands on top of the amethyst, and then
Yeah.
everyone's like, "Yo, yo,
Yo!
what's this?"
Ooh.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shrek. Yeah, but Amidon was... Well, it is nice. I actually don't ship it, but I do like it. It's cute. It's something nice, and I have no problems with it. The reason why I sighed was just because it reminded me of all the bullshit between shippers, where they just shit on anyone who ships it, and it drives me insane. I will never understand why.
Yeah. Especially with what
2016
happened
Steven
to,
Universe fandom was a hellhole and a
It
half.
was! Like,
Yeah,
I just
the
don't
Jesse,
understand why they
the
hate
Jesse
each
Duke
other.
situation.
Ugh.
Oof.
I hate it, but Amidon is nice. Personally, I've always kind of seen them as friends, but, you know, that's another thing I just don't like, though, is that we didn't see Amethyst and Peridot even interact, and not even in the sake of shipping. We just haven't seen them interact as well since, I think, Reunited as well. I think they might have interacted once or twice in the movie, but...
They interacted once in the movie while rebuilding
Oh,
World
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
because Peridot
you know,
was,
Peridot
like,
was
oh my
literally
God, go
inside
away.
Amethyst.
And then, yeah.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. She's inside her, guys.
Comedy gold.
Jack, shut up. Shut up.
I just...
I'm John Comedy.
Yeah. I'm pretty... Oh, man. Just... Amidon... I don't even ship it, but I'm still pretty mad that they didn't even have them interact. It just seems like all the development they could have had for the characters, they were just like, picks up and just went, yeet! Threw it out the window.
Yo, that Steven guy? Give him, like, all the depression right now. Yeah, let's just focus 100% on that guy and not on the other
Hand it over to
characters.
him.
I mean,
Every character-
The show is named after him,
This-
after all.
It's just like Rebecca Sugar comes into the office, gets everyone to sit down. Okay. Listen, we made the decision. Steven will be the main character of Future like always, except it's actually only going to be about Steven. Every other character's arc is now about Steven. Any development we have can only benefit Steven. Anything else, we are not doing it. Okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Alright, yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, see, I think all of them just said yes, because if they said no, they'd be shot in the head. So I think they all just said yes, and here we are.
Yeah, just moved on.
Woohoo!
But
Thank
speaking
you
of
very much.
horrible leadership and horrible things in general, let's talk about
My wife!
your wife,
Well,
Jack.
my ex-wife soon.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, we can't talk about her just yet, but I'm sure we can next episode. All right, just save save your anger for another time. But in regards to generally bad
sure.
things, I think Jaspis is a good topic to start on then.
Yeah. It's very,
Like a
very
horrific
toxic,
ship.
very chaotic.
Oh my god.
So I don't.
What's not to love about that, man?
I
Reminds me of
personally
my
don't
marriage.
mind. I don't mind anyone who ships them. I don't like the ship because it's very toxic. Lapis took all of her anger out on Jasper because of what Jasper did to her. Because Jasper, she really liked the power in Malachite, and I understand that, but you don't take advantage of someone, and then just give them PTSD because of that. It's not Pog, not Pog at all.
Hey man, it's pretty cool.
Jack, shut up.
Don't think it is at all.
Really, dude? I would have never thought.
Well, yeah, I know, right? It's not like I'm open about this or anything, but...
But you remember the fact that Malachi was the worst out of both of them, so...
Yeah.
Lapis kind of liked that power,
yep.
Kind of like controlling Jasper, which... And I think, in a way, the roles were kind of reversed, with Lapis technically physically abusing Jasper, and Jasper, mentally abusing Lapis.
Like a role reversal, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I just said. It's a role reversal. You'd expect
the big burly one. I'm agreeing with you.
You'd expect the big burly one to be doing the punching, but no. Apparently, it's the petite-looking one.
There's a plot twist. Who'd have thought? It brings up a good point. Oh, hey, a train horn! Look at that, guys. It's the train of hate. It's about to hit us full speed.
Yep, the train of a lock. With his divine retribution against anyone who ships Lapadot.
You get taken on the train of hate.
It's a good ship.
You're going to Brazil!
Ship Lapadot? Get on the train of Allah, you're going to Brazil.
Speaking of Brazil, man, I'll bring it up later. Don't worry, it's a pretty funny story.
Okay.
I don't want to know what you got in stock there. But, oh boy. Jaspis is just... It's interesting, but again, while it is bad, one thing I still wish they acknowledged was them interacting after Alone at Sea, because they never did ever again.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and I really thought that they would in future, because especially since Jasper's in Little Home School.
Yeah.
Little Homeworld, whatever that thing. Yeah. And it's like, how do they live feet apart, meters apart? I don't know. They're very close to each other. And yet they haven't interacted. I don't understand that.
Here's the sad story of Jasper, everyone. She had great potential, but then was relegated as nothing more but a punching bag for the crew of the show, and used as nothing more but development for other characters instead of fleshing her out as her own.
Yeah, because I thought we were going to get a redemption arc, and that never happened.
Nope.
So...
And
we redeemed the 3 space Hitlers, but we couldn't redeem a lone soldier.
Yeah. It's not even in Homeworld alone, in future, or just, Homeworld's, how their hierarchy works. I always thought they'd do something like that. I always thought with Homeworld, they were going to do something in regards to how Jasper kind of viewed it, because I always felt like she's, that theory that said she stayed on Earth because, she was ashamed and she felt she deserved to be punished rather than going home to Homeworld. I thought they'd do something with that, but no, she's just a sad sack that lives in the fucking woods and breaks everything.
Makes you wonder what she was doing during the events of the movie.
Chances are she was just decimating everything. She was just breaking all the trees.
Yo, nice. You see that grass? I'm gonna fucking kill it.
It's even sadder because Jasper's been used for not just that either. As in, it's not just in future she used to serve other arcs. She served Lapises, she served Amethysts, she even served Paradots. Even Stevens, but not her own.
She hasn't had.
Did she get a piece of that developmental pie? No! Fucking hand away from that shit, Jasper.
Just slaps it away.
No. She gets shattered. That's the
She gets shattered.
She technically.
No,
she gets.
character development.
She technically gets. Technically, she gets killed twice. Once by, technically speaking, Peridot when she got poofed, and then the second time for realsies by Steven.
Yep. In other words, Jasper was just like, alright guys, we need a big buff Cheeto puff who can be abused. Jasper, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, Jasper went on the train to Brazil. That's
I know. It just... Wait, what? I thought you said something different. Jasper on the train to Brazil?
Yeah, Jasper went on the train to Brazil. Her character development went to Brazil.
Oh, that explains a lot,
actually.
That explains a lot.
That's so sad.
That is so sad. But, see, here's another ship that I'm absolutely certain DG and Jack would love to talk about. I can tell you've been waiting the whole time. No, not like Peter. Steven Cest.
GG.
No, it is Steven Cest.
Yes! Yeah, this is my favorite ship. Oh my god, how did you know?
Wow. I love seeing the same guy kissing himself.
I know, right? Pink Steven, Chad Steven, X Steven, yes.
Hey man,
Yeah,
the
so-
theme of Future is all about accepting and loving yourself. So why not?
So for people who don't know, Steven Sess or Steven X Steven, you know, as it sounds, basically classic Steven X, future / movie Steven / the pink Steven, like the pink buff Steven.
It's usually just Future Steven with his quote unquote Chad self during the final parts of the.
Okay, I've seen classic Steven with Chad Steven. Let me tell you.
Well, that's because you're looking at mostly Asian artists. You know, the Western ones, they usually just go with the one, the ones that are 3 days apart.
So nasty. I don't get why
It's
people
wacky,
ship
dude.
it.
It's really fucking wacky.
Man, it's
It's not even. I'm not even disgusted. It's just wacky.
It is wacky.
Like,
It
man.
is wacky. I'll never understand it myself. Like, it's just.
I also feel like it's like a bit of a loophole, technically.
It kind of is. I mean, it is.
Yeah, because like if if you don't want to ship him with Connie, but you don't want to, you're afraid of getting harassed because you ship him with the gem. You know, why not just like ship him with himself? I mean, yeah, technically The Rock is 6,000, like really fucking old, but it's his personality still. It's his conscience, not his mother's. So
this is like the
it's
onslaught
definitely
all
not
over
that
again.
Yeah. For anyone that doesn't know, self-cessed is just shipping a character. Like, if a character goes through enough of a shift through their development, if they go from like one end, like one extreme to the next, you know, basically, you know, like they're extremely different by the end of the series. You know, you can technically, you know, make them kiss with each other.
You could.
Yeah,
you could do
of course.
Yeah, you know, the most infamous example being that you just mentioned earlier, the Onceler, in which they shipped his twinkish self with his green twinkish self.
It's terrible.
Like
it was just terrible. I hate it. I genuinely hate it.
It was quite wacky. That's how I describe all these self-cessed ships. They're just wacky.
Yeah.
It's something. Let's just.
Yeah, it's something.
Why don't we just leave it at that?
Okay,
it's something.
so here I'm gonna discuss my all-time favorite show.
No.
Stevenel.
No, dude, hell yeah,
You
dude.
thought I was gonna say like Peter, didn't you?
I did think you were going to say that.
Next time, but no, Stevenel. Stevenel is my all-time
That's a
favorite
fucking
ship.
great ship, my dude.
Consists of
Exquisite.
Steven and Spinel. Definitely nothing wrong with that ship. No pedophilia.
Yeah,
at
nothing
all.
wrong.
No.
You know, it's just
Perfectly
you
fine,
know,
perfectly legal. It's okay.
Yeah.
Steven is a minor and Spinel is thousands of years old.
I see nothing wrong with
It's
this.
okay.
Hey man,
It's okay.
they're legal in Brazil.
Okay, no, but
Yeah.
honestly, when it comes to Stevenel, if they had just if they had actually done something in regards to their development that wasn't just, oh no, Steven saves the day again just by talking to Spinel and she's suddenly okay, and then in future she kisses him. That's it. Like, if they'd done something more with Stevenel, I would, not saying I'd be more receptive to it, but I would have liked it at least, because as much as I don't ship it, I do actually wish we just saw more of Steven and Spinel, period. Like, it would have been
I wouldn't mind that.
nice, but
They would have been great John comedies together.
but then their decision to basically say Spinel's going to kiss Steven was more shipping fuel in that series than any other ship got. And it was Steven.
Yeah, you know, it's a direct
Kiss
smooch.
Spinel.
You know,
Just-
that's more than
Yeah,
They knew what they
sound
were
A lot of other
effects and
development.
The
They knew
animation
what they were
itself,
They knew what they were doing.
it was
don't know
it was
why
quite
they did
pod.
that.
You know, they
that.
say it's a reference to Looney Tunes, but you know, what kind
No,
of like
it's a
14-year-old person's gonna
terrible
watch Looney
reference.
Tunes?
Yeah, they
These
knew.
days.
They
They
knew.
literally
what
had an entire episode dedicated to Coyote and the Roadrunner. We don't need a Looney Tunes reference that it involves.
To be fair, Spinel
female
did
kiss.
run like the Roadrunner in that episode as well.
Yeah,
Steven
you know,
kept running
she
away,
kind of
she
is
sped
based
up
off
again
of those
to
types of
Roadrunner.
cartoons.
Well, yeah, but
So it makes sense.
It seemed more as a Sonic reference rather than Looney Tunes.
Could be that.
Look at it like this. Look at it like this. Spinel was acting like the Bugs Bunny, and Steven was supposed to be kind of like the Elmer Fudd in that situation.
Yeah.
I still hate it.
You know, because like whenever Bugs Bunny does that to Elmer Fudd or whatever, or whoever he's facing off against, you know, they get pretty pissed off. Like, oh, you're a fucking bunny. They'll beat the shit out of you. And that's exactly how Steven reacted.
You fucking, I'm gonna kill you, Spinel.
Yeah, but instead of saying that, you know, he has to be kid friendly, so he's just Spinel. What was that for?
Spinel, you
Oh,
fucking.
and here's where I get to bring up the little Brazil facts right for you guys. So the official Cartoon Network Twitter for Brazil, they made a post.
Oh.
They made a post saying, you know, waiting for Steven Universe Future Like, and they posted like a small like GIF. But I think the guy didn't look hard enough when he was looking at it, because he didn't notice that it was an edit of the series with quite the funny edit with Spinel just barely in the frame. You know, hair very loose, implying some very epic things happened.
Yeah, Steven was in his bed and I think he was on his phone or something, and you could see Spinel's hair on the pillow.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, man. Brazil really said Stevenel rights. Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, they really did.
I think we should probably try and wrap it up now. Try and get
Brazil gets better and better every day.
Wrapped up. But before we go, I really want to talk about one more little ship. Right, it's my personal favorite, Stevinel and Peridot. I think it's a great ship, and I'm honestly surprised people don't ship it enough. I think those two are great for each other, and my 4 a.m. brain wanted to write a 2,000-word analysis on it.
Yeah, would you believe it if I said that this guy has a girlfriend?
Would you? No, I don't believe it myself, so I don't think many people have the right to believe it either.
Oh, okay, good then.
Yeah.
You're
just not going to believe it.
Girlfriend confirmed.
Oh, okay.
I think we still need to address quite the big elephant in the room when it comes to ships, and that is the actual Sultan that is Pearl.
Yes.
Fucking try to
Pearl
him on deck.
Oh my god, Pearl has
Quite the side
so many fucking ships. It is insane.
We got Rose, we got Mystery Girl, we got Bismuth, we got Volleyball, we got Amethyst, probably more, but those are like the 5 main ones I want to say.
Those are the main poggers.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that actually got development.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
You know.
This is the
Man,
ones who got development.
She's got hose.
She got hose.
You
You know, I actually I just have to bring up a point though, is that in future they had Bismuth and Pearl, and then they had Volleyball on Pearl, and I don't really know what they were going through, but it seemed like they tried to say it was both in a way. I don't really know.
It's confusing.
I know
They
some
tried
people
saying that
like
Pearl has
Pearl
hose.
as Polly, but
See, when Volleyball premiered, I was like, oh, so Volleyball and Pearl are gonna be a thing. You know, they're holding hands, and Volleyball rested her shoulder on Pearl. And then the Bismuth episode happened, and Bismuth and Pearl were like flirtatious. So I was like, oh, so they're a thing. But what happened to Volleyball? We never
I think
even
they
saw
tried to leave it
Volleyball.
open-ended, but I always headcanon that Biz Pearl became canon. Just
Yeah,
Biz Pearl.
it definitely.
It was more
It
hinted
seems
at.
more canon material.
And I like
I
it.
don't know, man. I kind of like that. I kind of just headcanon it that she's just quite the player. You know, she never
She
stops
is.
with one.
Yeah.
And even then, you know, there's a deleted scene in the movie where Steven, you know, grabs the phone and he's searching through Pearl's phone and he sees just a fuck ton of miscellaneous phone numbers, more than likely from a bunch of women.
That wasn't a phone number. Those were images. He was going through images, and then Pearl said, "Don't swipe left." And then Pearl said, "Don't swipe left." And he's like, "What?" And when he grabs Pearl's phone and he starts going through it, she suddenly yells, "Don't swipe left!" And
Pearl, what the fuck is this? Fuck is the correct term.
yes, fuck is the correct term. Thank you for your amazing. Oh, actually, yeah, Pearl X Peridot. Before we go, I really want to bring that up. That Pearl X Peridot was a pretty big thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, the enemies to lovers trope.
know,
Pearl X
I
Peridot.
hate you a lot. Yeah, I hate you too. You're a fucking bitch.
Oh no.
Don't bring it up again. Okay, the last time I
come
did hear
on.
you talk about Pearl's nose as Peridot and how she liked it, and it was hell. I don't really think
like,
I want to.
Damn, Pearl,
Wait,
what that
what-
nose do? Holy shit.
No.
Hi, Mamacita.
Oh my god.
Terrible.
Awooga.
Lapis. I'm gonna take a one-way ticket here.
Thank you.
Laps's nose just wasn't long enough.
Nope.
Just right.
Yeah, no, that does
Unsatisfactory.
remind me though of the one where it said, "Oh, we figured out why Lapis really likes Peridot because canonically her tongue is long enough to extend like a frog."
No wonder she stayed at the barn. Oh, man.
Jeez.
That's why she looked like that by Beta.
Peridot had to win Lapis's affection.
So you want to do this and then
Yes, just hurry the fuck up. Okay, I'm doing it.
Okay, we gotta end this. We're gonna have to
Yeah.
stop this before it gets
Oh
out
wait,
of hand.
hold on, before
No,
we end
no,
it.
no, no,
Yeah,
no.
I-
Okay, thanks everyone for joining. Thanks for joining this episode. It was really good. We'll see you next episode. We're actually going to have an arc discussion about arcs that worked and didn't work, and an actual in-depth analysis on those. So we hope to see
No more
you
John
next
comedies
time.
from here.
So you'll be seeing us next episode, and hopefully you enjoyed this one. And remember, Lapid is the best ship.